Hi, this is Jessie from the Primary Digital Classroom. I wanted to show you how to implement a primary math choice board into your day with your primary students. And so there's a couple different ways that you can do this. And so one way is to put your math choice board in so that way they can work on it throughout the whole week. And so all the activities for the week are all in here already. And so when it's time for them to do their math choice board, they come here and they can complete these 4 different activities. And once they're completed, they can move the X over. And because they'll be doing this again the next day, when they're done completing the choice board, then they can move the X's back up. Or when they start the day again, they can always move the X's then. There's enough X's in here though for them, even if they lose an X, they still have enough X's to be able to use. And so for things like iReady, they can see here that the timer says 10 minutes. And so they could come up to the 10-minute timer and they can click that. And then they can go and click on their iReady and complete their iReady. And then when their time is up, then they'll hear the timer go off because the timer is going to continue to go. So this really helps with that student agency piece and regulating their time. Same with the math flashcards down here. There's a 5-minute timer. And so they know that they can click on the 5-minute one. And then they can come down here and they can work on their math flashcards. Sometimes that one's a little bit more tricky. They might have to click on it and then go back and click on the timer again to be able to do that one. Now, the thing with the timers that I wasn't able to include in the teacher for teacher part of my math choice board, the easy way to insert the timers is just to click Insert Video, 10-minute SAN timer. I like to use SAN timers with the primary students. And then you just click on it and it inserts. And so I use that feature a lot. And so that's a great way to insert some timers. On the next page, that's where they can go to see what page they're working on each day. I was doing it in the choice board at first, but now I realize that this is easier, especially for the parents to see what the students need to work on throughout the week. And then I usually have some type of math at home videos to show parents some ideas of math that they can do with their child at home. And then here is where they can come and click to be able to figure out what problems they need to complete that day. Sometimes I put the answer key and sometimes I don't. And so if I really want to test and see their knowledge on a certain subject and maybe even take a classwork grade, then I won't include the answer key. But if I know that we're trying to get through a lot that day, I might include the answer key for them to be able to check their work. And so as you can see for this one, they have all the days of the week in here. I also have the workbook pages screenshotted at the very end for any students that don't have their workbooks at home with them, or maybe they went to uncle or aunts or somebody else's and they just don't have their workbook with them. Another option is to do it by day. And so I've been doing it by day to make it easier for them, but we're moving into doing it more by week now that we've been doing it for a few weeks. But to do it by day, I always classify it with the animal, so Monkey Monday and the blue square. So the students that can't read, I say go click on the blue square and the monkey, and that's the activity that you're doing right now. And so it looks the exact same. The only difference is that the only activities are the Monkey Monday activities. And so it just makes it a little bit easier, especially when they're first starting to navigate doing the choice board. And while they're doing the choice board, what I have is I have this screen displayed and the timer going. We spend about 45 minutes doing our choice board, and we know that we're never done with the choice board. And so there's always math that they can be doing, even if they're going in their room and counting all their toys or sorting their toys by shape. And so we've already been able to have that conversation and communicate that to them. And so by me displaying this screen, it lets me turn my audio off and my video off, and I go into a separate meeting to be able to help students. And so the first few weeks, it's really been about helping students with any questions they have and helping parents with any questions that they have. And so I have in my Google Classroom this question mark that they can go and click on, and then they can meet me in that meeting. Now that we've had a few weeks under our belts, now they're really going more to the Meet with Miss Saxon, because now I get to start to pull small groups of students to be able to really help them with their individual math skills. And so that is kind of a walkthrough of how you can do math choice boards with your digital classroom, with your kindergartners, your first graders, your second graders.